we will be dealing with some relatively cold temperatures here in the Lowcountry before a warm-up happens. Today, I talk one-on-one with the Lowcountry's chief meteorologist and the wizard of weather, Rob Fowler, to give me his forecast for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook.
The wizard of weather, Rob Fowler. Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Hey, Quintin, always a pleasure, and happy holidays, my friend. Merry Christmas coming up here soon.
Likewise. Well, let me start right there because obviously you've been a part of this Lowcountry with helping kids on Christmas getting toys that they really, really need. What is the toy count right now for Toys for Tots?
Well, actually, I don't know if you see it on the screen, but that says 68,000 and some change. But I can tell you that a lot of toys are still coming in, Quintin, so we're going to be well over 70,000. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 80,000. And that's a lot of toys, but we also have to kind of break it down, the numbers to the kids. And you're talking about probably 11,000 children, maybe up to 15,000 children this year that are helped by the generosity of the Lowcountry.
Yeah, we thank those people for all of their generous support and obviously donations as well. Now let's talk about the weather. Obviously, as I just told you and Carolyn off camera, that I'm extremely cold.
It is kind of cold out there today.
Yes, and I didn't turn on the heater last night overnight, and when I woke up, I was naturally cold. What were those preliminary low temperatures across our area this morning?
Well, I think it's coming off of 70 yesterday on Sunday and really record-breaking temperatures late last week. It really kind of a shock to the system. So the problem was this morning we had temperatures in the 40s and around 50, but it felt colder because those gusty northerly winds that brought in the cold air were kind of helping to take the heat away from our bodies. So it felt colder. The wind chills this morning, in some cases, most likely in the 30s. And tonight's going to be pretty chilly. Not as windy tonight, but it is going to be chilly. And then we're going to add rain on top of that later tonight and through the day tomorrow. So while today was cold and somewhat miserable, I think tomorrow will be probably even worse. Tomorrow, if you've got the day off, I would say Tuesday is going to be an inside day.
Mm-hmm. So what will the next 8 hours be like?
What, excuse me?
Yeah, what will the next 8 hours be like?
Oh, next 8 hours. Okay, so I would say for the next 8 hours, you're talking about, temperatures in the 40s, and that's where we've been. I don't think the rain's going to happen until after midnight tonight. So I'm not talking about rain this evening. We're talking about rain going on through the day tomorrow, probably starting out right around rush hour, and that will continue really from rush hour to rush hour. I think going to work tomorrow, there will be rain, and coming home from work in the afternoon, there will be rain and cold temperatures, and it will start to get a little breezy as well by tomorrow afternoon.
Wow. So, and I know I know you just mentioned that, hey, we were very warm last week. I remember being in North Mount Pleasant on Friday, literally sweating. So what got us from the warm weather to now being cold?
Well, the jet stream's changed a little bit, very, variable in the jet stream. We've had kind of a west to east flow or even southwest to northeast in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's allowed warm weather to come in. But we've had just a little dip in the jet stream now, kind of a meandering, if you will, and that happens this time of the year. A little chunk of cooler weather has been broken away from the north and moving on in. So it's going to be very brief, though, Quintin. I know when you and I talked a while back, we wanted to talk about the Christmas forecast, and yes. I know we'll get to that because we've got to go through a couple of chilly days before we get to the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like you. I'm a warm weather guy. I don't mind if it's 70 on Christmas. I enjoy the warmer temperatures.
Okay. What has been the warmest Christmas here in Charleston?
I think we've hit 80. I don't know the exact temperature, but it has been 80 on Christmas Day here in Charleston. We've only had one white Christmas, and that was the Christmas after Hurricane Hugo in 1989. And the definition of a white Christmas is not snowing on Christmas Day, but at least 1 inch of snow on the ground on Christmas Day. So that Christmas in 1989, it did not snow that day, but it had snowed leading up to that day, and the snow was on the ground. At least I think there was 3 or 4 inches on the ground on December 25th of 1989.
Wow, and I was just a little kid, so I don't remember much about it because I was born in 1984.
I remember it well.
Oh, you do, yes, absolutely. And what are the average highs and lows on Christmas Day?
Yeah, we should be right around 40, and that's for the low temperature, and right around 60 in the afternoon. So we're most likely going to be 70 or so on Christmas Day. So we'll be running about 10 degrees above normal, not just on the low side, because I think the low is going to be around 50 for Santa's arrival here overnight, Christmas Eve into Christmas morning, but also in the afternoon, we'll be about 10 degrees higher than the 60 and be around 70 degrees.
So let's fast forward to the day after Christmas. What will the next 7 days look like?
Yeah, I think we're still looking warm. In fact, I think above normal temperatures expected through at least into early next year. And January typically is our coldest month of the year on average. So we still got a lot of winter yet to go. Believe it or not, tomorrow, Tuesday, is the winter solstice at about 10:59 in the morning. That's when the sun will be directly overhead at 23.5 degrees south latitude, which is the Tropic of Capricorn. So signals winter for us in the northern hemisphere and summer for the southern hemisphere.
Wow. So let's talk about Tuesday once again. Once we get through Tuesday, how will Wednesday and Thursday look?
It much improved. In fact, I was just looking at some of our forecast modeling. I wouldn't be surprised if I would say clearing out by early morning on Wednesday with sunshine. We're going to be around 60 degrees on Wednesday, and then we'll gradually get to the mid 60s, then probably Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, upper 60s to around 70 degrees. So by the end of this week, it looks great. In fact, I see mostly sunny skies on Christmas Day. Just got to get through kind of a messy day on Tuesday, the first day of winter, and then I think we see much improved weather by later in the week.
Let me go back to Toys for Tots for just a second, Rob. For those who want to donate, and I know you all are getting ready to organize for that, how can we go about that right now?
Well, we're still taking donations, no doubt about it. We've been very fortunate, Quintin. We just had a fantastic Saturday. This past Saturday, we had an open registration. So for your listeners and your viewers who watch you religiously and wonder, how does Toys for Tots work? Well, basically, beginning in October, there was a registration period that went from mid-October through really the end of November. So recipients would come to the Toy Factory. That's at the Festival Center, Ashley Phosphate and Dorchester Road. They would register. And when the toys started coming in via donations, they would be called and contacted. So the recipients would come to the Toy Factory and pick up their toys with the premise that they would take them home and put them under the Christmas tree. Basically, the Marines, I like to tell the kids, are Santa's helpers. They just want to make sure that there are toys under every Christmas tree. So fast forward to Saturday, because the Lowcountry has been so generous, the Marines were able to fill every single application and said, we have some additional toys that have come in, so we're going to open it up. And 8:30 in the morning on Saturday at the Toy Factory, Quintin, the doors opened. There was a line all the way back to the next door building, which was Players Place Billiards. That line stayed pretty consistent all morning and into the afternoon. And we helped on Saturday 301 additional families and over 700 children receive Christmas because of Toys for Tots. So it was quite a day, and everybody was walking out of there with big smiles, and it was fun to be there. It was a long day. It's a lot of work, Quintin, but I think Santa would be very proud of the Marines and the job they did and all the volunteers.
Yeah, and thank God and Jesus for them as well. And thank you for all of your years of commitment to Toys for Tots and helping getting those kids some toys for the Christmas holiday. So we thank you as well.
Thank you, Quintin. It's my 35th year, and I wouldn't have changed a thing. It's there's nothing like seeing the smile on a kid's face, and not just the children, but the parents when they receive Toys for Tots. There's just nothing like it. And if you're tired, if you're down, if you're not having a good day, as soon as you see that, man, things turn around 180 degrees.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of which, do you need any more volunteers for Christmas Day?
I think we can always take volunteers, no doubt about it. We will be delivering on Christmas morning. We'll be meeting at the Convention Center bright and early, probably about 6:30 in the morning. Should be out on the road by 7. And so Toys for Tots, most of the toys are given out before Christmas by the process that we mentioned. But a few years ago, North Charleston Police came to the Marines and said, if you guys have any toys left over, we've identified some families in need and that need some help. And they didn't ask. Some people are too proud. Some people just don't have the transportation to get to the registration spot. And sometimes, Quintin, circumstances come up after registration closes. I can't tell you how many stories I've had that someone may have lost their job right before Christmas. They didn't needed. They did not know they needed to register. And all of a sudden, they're like, Mr. Fowler, I don't know what to do. I need some help. So that's where a Christmas morning delivery started. And a lot of times we go into homes, Quintin, they don't know we're coming. Somebody, one of their friends or their church members or someone told Toys for Tots about them. And all of a sudden we show up, knock on the door, Toys for Tots. And man, I'll tell you what, there's nothing like it. That feeling is just overwhelming.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Heartwarming as well. Well, the Lowcountry's chief meteorologist, Rob Fowler, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups and happy holidays to you.
Same to you, Quintin, and always a pleasure, my friend. And I'd love to be back on soon.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.